Are you looking for an athletic scholarship? You're in the right place. This is the Recruit Me Athletic Scholarship Podcast, the longest-running podcast on recruiting and athletic scholarships. We're here to help your family navigate the recruiting road all the way to an athletic scholarship. He's a recruiting expert and a dad of 2 college athletes. He has a wealth of experience to share. Here's Recruit Me CEO, Brent Hanks.
Welcome to episode 458 of the Athletic Scholarship Podcast. The Athletic Scholarship Podcast is the world's longest-running athletic recruiting education podcast, giving you a weekly 15-minute episode with recruiting advice and tips from me, the owner of Recruit Me, LLC, and the father of 2 college student athletes. Like the introduction said, my name is Brent Hanks. You also get information from many guests on interviews. The Athletic Scholarship Podcast is just one of many free and inexpensive recruiting resources to help you save time, money, and stress as you, the student athlete, and your family navigate the recruiting journey. Recruit Me gives you the free Recruiting Power Pack, a free monthly newsletter, free answers to recruiting questions just by emailing me at brent@recruit-me.com. The cornerstone to Recruit Me is the Recruit Me 3.0 Athletic Scholarship System. It includes a 200-plus page step-by-step manual, workbook, and worksheets to guide you through the DIY recruiting journey. The Recruit Me 3.0 system is only $39, and you can get access on the recruit-me.com website. Go there now or right after you listen to this episode. Today's episode, episode 458, is called Get Recruited This Summer. I want to refer you back to the Athletic Scholarship Podcast episode from June 2023 called Here Comes Summer. It is episode 357. You can get past episodes of the Athletic Scholarship Podcast on your favorite podcast app or on the recruit-me.com website. Back in episode 357, I covered 6 items to do as you enter your summer. These are more for high schoolers going into their junior and senior years. The items are, number 1, contact college coaches. Number 2, send videos. Number 3, follow up with college coaches. Number 4, ask college coaches if they have an on-campus ID or prospect camp. Number 5, take campus tours, unofficial or official visits, and drive-thrus. And number 6, listen to every episode of the Athletic Scholarship Podcast and use all of the Recruit Me resources. Today, I'll add on to those 6 previous tips by infusing a few more summer tips. Summer tip number 1 is research the college programs on your college school list by analyzing the team's roster. Why would you want to look at a team's roster? Well, you can see how many players are on a roster that are seniors or grad students. Not all seniors will leave the program. Thus, you will want to ask the coach how many seniors are returning. Also, you'll want to know how many players are in each class, the junior class, sophomore class, and freshman class. You'll also want to know how many players in each class play your position. The roster itself won't tell you the whole story for the team next year, but it will give you a way to develop questions to ask the recruiting coach that you are talking to. And yes, you will really need to ask questions, like how many players will be back, and how many will be competing for my position. When Parker, my older son, talked with and visited Northwestern University, we looked at the Wildcats roster. And since Parker is a left-handed pitcher, we made notes on how many left-handed pitchers they had. They had 1 senior left-handed pitcher, 2 sophomore left-handed pitchers, and 3 freshman left-handed pitchers. So 1 left-handed pitcher would be gone from graduation, and 5 left-handed pitchers would be competing for innings as Parker entered his freshman year. By knowing this, Parker was able to ask the coach how many left-handed pitchers were being recruited for his 2019 recruiting class, and what would be his opportunity for competing for innings his freshman year. Parker found out that Northwestern was only recruiting 1 left-handed pitcher for that recruiting class, and that Northwestern only carried 27 players instead of the 35 travel max at the time. So every player had an opportunity to earn time. We did the same for Sutton, my younger son, when we looked at Columbia College. We knew going in that he had all-conference seniors in the outfield as he entered his freshman year, but that he would have an opportunity to pinch run or courtesy run in his freshman year, and then compete for more time his sophomore year. Another piece of a team's roster that is important is where players come from. Most rosters will have the player's hometown and previous school. This will show how the coaches recruit and replace players that leave or graduate. You can see that the team is made up from high school recruits, junior college recruits, or four-year transfers, either in the same level or transferring up and down in the college levels. We found out that Northwestern's recruiting classes were usually 7 to 8 high school recruits. In the 4 years that Parker was there were 2 four-year school transfers, one from a Division III college. Sutton's current team has 48 total players, and 8 transferred from other four-year schools, 14 from junior colleges, and 21 are from high schools. It is big to understand what your team might look like after you have been at your college for 2 years. They will recruit on top of you, so be ready to compete with new freshmen and with junior college and four-year school transfers. Also, knowing where players come from can give you an opportunity to find and contact players that you might know. If you dive into a team's roster, you can see the players' bios and stats, and see how many freshmen got a chance to play during their first year. Another roster trick is to see the size of college players. Check out their height and weight. That gives you a goal on getting to those heights and weights, or to see if you are already there. If you look year to year, you can track how many players come as freshmen and are then on the team the next year. Don't forget to click on the coach's information on the team's roster page. Read their background, where they are from, where they have coached, and where they went to college. This helps in conversations with the coaches. Again, yes, at some time you have to talk directly with coaches. Summer tip number 2 is take your college school list to your high school coach and your club coach to discuss. If you have done step 1 of the 7 steps to an athletic scholarship from the Recruit Me 3.0 system, then you should have a good list of 15 to 30 colleges of interest to contact. The Recruit Me 3.0 system gives you a parameters worksheet, a college school list worksheet, and a college research worksheet to work through. You can pay a service thinking that the service will do this for you. But how can they? Your choice is a personal choice for the next 4 to 5 years and isn't just an athletic decision. If your high school coach and your club coach will meet with you, then they may be able to help you by directing you to the appropriate levels of play for your talents. They may also have experience and contacts with some levels at some colleges. Now, a little side note. Not all coaches will be willing to sit down with you to help you with your college school list. Be prepared for that. Also, their advice isn't gospel. Take their positive help or their negative help and use it to move your dreams forward. We had both positive and negative interactions with my boys. We were able to meet with Sutton's club coaches and gave them Sutton's college list, and they verified that Sutton had identified the right levels of colleges. He had a few NCAA Division IIs, then a few NCAA Division IIIs, and 5 or 6 NAIA colleges. The coaches had information from their experience with 3 or 4 of the colleges on Sutton's list, and they also suggested 2 colleges that were not on our list. Columbia College was one that the coaches had us add. We did this meeting at the end of his summer season and before his senior year of high school. From the meeting with these coaches, Columbia College got on our radar, and we did research on the Cougars program and the school. Soon, Sutton started having contact with the coaches at Columbia, and he eventually visited the college and committed to go there. One of Recruit Me's goals is for high school student athletes to have this kind of meeting with either their high school coach or their club coach or both. Another goal would be for the coaches to ask their players to have this meeting with their research school list. To Recruit Me, it feels like it should be easier for an adult, the coach, to instigate this very important recruiting element. Summertime tip number 3 is ask the college coaches on your college school list if they have open roster spots. Again, this requires the high school student athlete to have researched a college program and to personally talk by phone or in person to a coach. This tip is like what I used to think when I was in the car business. The idea of you can't get a sale if you don't ask. By taking the initiative to both contact college coaches and then asking intelligent and many times direct questions, you can put yourself in a good position in the mind of the college coach. At the first of Sutton's summer between his junior and senior year of high school, he contacted a college coach and asked if they were recruiting an outfielder for the class of 2022. And the coach responded and said that he was waiting to meet with a few more current players and wasn't sure yet. Sutton then contacted the same coach a month later, and the coach invited him to an on-campus prospect camp. After the half-day camp, Sutton was invited on a campus tour, and we, a few weeks later, took an unofficial visit with Lori coming on the visit. We figured Mom needed to be involved. Sutton contacted and asked for roster opportunities on 3 other colleges that he liked, and he got 3 offers to play, eventually choosing Columbia College. I guarantee that Northwestern never, and I mean never, finds Parker without Parker contacting them. Contacting college coaches and asking direct questions is a very effective way when you are a recruitable commodity, usually your junior and senior year of high school. Summer tip number 4 is prepare for late summer contacts and offers. When I say prepare, that can be done in a lot of ways. Prepare by playing and training in your sport. Become the best player that you can be. Adjust your parameters and your school list to fit your skills and your wants and your needs. Update your introductory email, your player profile, your recruiting questionnaire, and your videos to send to college coaches. Make sure and track all of your communications. Prepare to ask and to answer questions in your communications with college coaches. Discuss with your family what cost of going to college is affordable and figure out what kind of scholarships you may be eligible for. Also, be ready to get offers and figure out how you want to respond and what your timeline is. Many times, college coaches put deadlines on their offers. Sometimes they are legit, and sometimes they are a pressure tactic. Don't get surprised by an offer after you have done all of this work to get one. Finally, summer tip number 5 is to go back and listen to episode 357 of the Athletic Scholarship Podcast and do all of the tips from that episode, especially the 6th tip in episode 357, which is listen to every past podcast of the Athletic Scholarship Podcast. Go to the recruit-me.com website, and there is a button to click to see all the past The Athletic Scholarship Podcast episodes. Or many of the past episodes that I have hosted are listed in categories to help you find episodes to fill your needs. The categories are high school freshman year, high school sophomore year, high school junior year, and then high school senior year. There are both an interviews column and a more interviews column, plus a category of interviews with parents, interviews with college athletes, and interviews with coaches. And here are the other categories: steps of recruiting, college and high school sports experiences, myths about athletic scholarships, questions, tuition, NCAA, NAIA, and junior college, eligibility and eligibility center, athletic seasons, school or college list, recruiting research, recruiting advice, general information, stats, accolades, and accomplishments, official and unofficial visits, academics and core courses, and last but not least, recruiting resources. No matter where you are in your recruitment, there are episodes that will help you. If you are about to enter your freshman year of high school, then that is a great time to start learning about the recruiting process. Your freshman and sophomore years of high school are, again, great times to start learning about recruiting and then preparing for your go time for recruiting, which for a majority of student athletes is your junior and senior years of high school. When you have college-level ready information to pass along to college coaches on your filled-out player profile, then you are ready to contact college coaches. This is most likely during your junior year of high school. Again, go to the recruit-me.com website or go to your favorite podcast app to get the Athletic Scholarship Podcast, which is published every week on Tuesday. Also, please like and share the Athletic Scholarship Podcast. Another weekly free resource is the Recruit Me Weekly Recruiting Tip. You can find it on the Recruit-Me Athletic Facebook page, the @RecruitMe13 X account, and the Brent Hanks account on the Baseball Bluebook app. This week's tip from week 47 is, here's myth number 2 about athletic scholarships from the Recruit Me 3.0 Athletic Scholarship System. Myth number 2 is, if I'm talented enough, college coaches can get me into the school despite bad grades. The truth is, it's just the opposite. Poor grades shut off a coach's interest more quickly than anything else. All things being equal, a coach would rather pursue a student athlete with comparable abilities, but with higher grades and test scores. Have a great summer, and thank you for listening to the Athletic Scholarship Podcast. Join me next week for another 15 minutes that will change your athletic scholarship future.